Hey y'all, welcome back to Mirror Expressions, where I share a little bit of myself with you all and I invite you all to do the same with me. So, in order to do that, y'all just drop down a mirror emoji in the comments and that just kind of lets me know that, hey, I'm A1 today, okay? I looked in the mirror and I love what I see looking back at me. But if not, you all, as always, I encourage you to take whatever avenues you need to get back to a healthier you. Yes, honey. Yes. All right, y'all. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And we're not going to prolong this thing. We're going to get it going. Today, we are reviewing and recapping Married at First Sight. We are season 15, episode 8, Party Ways. It is day 11. No, sorry, it's day 12, y'all. And we're just getting glimpses of all the couples settling in. Y'all, Mitch is so nasty. He's he is so nasty. He has Kristen eating trail mix out of like this reusable brown paper bag. Something that's probably really meant for a one-time use. And he's written reusable so that she won't throw it away and continue to use it. Oh, child. Oh, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. It just looks so disgusting. But anyways, um, that reminds me too of, before we keep going. Last week, did y'all see the after party show? And how she was talking about that Mitch, when they go to the grocery store, he won't let her. Oh, my lips are just extra shiny today, y'all. It's that light here need to make me. It's okay. My lip popping. Damn. Okay, I'll get sidetracked. Anyway, so it just reminded me, like on the after show, he was saying, or she was saying that when they go grocery shopping, Mitch doesn't let her put the groceries, like the fruits and vegetables, in a little plastic bag. So you just got them things just rolling around in the nasty cart and rolling around on that nasty ass conveyor belt. Like, ooh, like it's just disgusting. Anyway, Miguel is playing ping pong ball with his friend. And he's telling him that Lindy is a great wife and that he feels like he's doing good at being a husband. He's taking security in knowing that she's going to do whatever it takes to make it work. And I'm like, but Miguel, what about you? Like, are you willing to do the thing? Or are you still kind of like, oh, this is just an 8-week thing? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Steve asked, that's his friend, well, did she meet your checklist of what you asked for? And so Miguel was like, yes, and then some. He really did start singing her praises then. So it kind of seems like Miguel is kind of, like, what did he say last week, that she's winning him over? Like, it does seem like we're kind of getting a different side of Miguel now than what we were previously getting. Like, their first week when they were on the honeymoon or whatever. So we'll see how it goes or whatever. Anyway, so we're getting like everybody's meeting up with like one of their friends, okay? So Kristen is meeting with her friend Joanna, and Kristen says that that there's a difference in their domesticity, a difference in their clutter. In other words, she really said Mitch is nasty. He dirty and cleanliness just ain't it. Oh, so she also goes on to say that she feels like he may be a hoarder, and we find out that they could decide on a theme for their housewarming party. And Mitch goes, like, she wanted, what did she want? She wanted to do, oh, like a France theme, I think is what it was. And he wanted to do like some kind of apocalypse. Everybody come dressed as how they think they would die. And I'm just like, Oh, Mitch, come on now. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, the friend asked if Kristen had told Mitch about her last engagement. And so we find out that she had, and that she kind of holds back from telling people because of the negative feedback she normally gets or whatever. And so her friend just encourages her that she should go ahead and tell him. So Alexis, she's zooming with her sister Amber, and she tells Amber about the fight between Noon and Maya. And she tells her sister that Justin said, I love you while they were on a honeymoon, right? And I'm thinking like, now Lex, don't leave that man out there like that now, because you did say I love you too. So go on tell her your part of that too, you know. And she did. She did come back and say that she told him that she loved him as well, but that she was not in love with him, right? So sis was just like, you know, protect your heart. And so though Alexis also was saying that while she does love him, she's having some reservations. Like how he didn't tell her that his dog had been in a fight before. And you know, so she's having reservations, is what she's telling her sister. Then he's working out with one of his friends. And meanwhile, we see Morgan zooming with her friend Carl. So theirs is kind of playing back to back, right? We going back and forth, the whole double dutch thing, right? And so they're both discussing with their friends what happened on the honeymoon. Y'all, at this point, I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about this. Like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about hearing this whole argument. Like, I feel like it's being turned into a much bigger issue than what it initially was. Anyways, so one thing that we do learn is that she was the one asking for the physical touch. Like we saw that on last week, that when they were when Pastor Cal was talking to them, he was telling Morgan she has to let down her wall so that, you know, they can increase that physical touch. But it came across as if Ben was the one kind of desiring that. And with these walls that Morgan had built up, he didn't know how to approach the situation. Well, this week we're learning that she's the one that's craving this, but then she yet has these walls up, so she's giving mixed signals to Ben, and Poe Ben is just confused, like he don't know what to do. He don't know how to proceed. Should he or should he not touch her? And so, anyway, I can tell how that can just really be confusing for Ben. So Morgan tells her friend that she's just not happy because she feels like Ben doesn't see her for who she really is. He only sees her for like the surface level things, like her issues with her family, or for her student her debt that she's carrying, like her student loans. Nate is having lunch with his friend Derek and not Megan. Y'all know every time we see Nate and a friend, that little old Megan gonna come up, baby. Megan, you get no more airtime, boo. No more. I'm just playing, y'all. So Nate says that he feels like he articulates and expresses his feelings very very well. I'm like, Nate, where? Where? When, how, will, who? Like, where? You know what I'm saying? Oh, child, I don't even know. So, but he goes on to say that he's going to go to therapy to learn how to better express himself and to be more vulnerable and dig deeper and communicate. He said he feels like this is a mind game for him right now, And I believe it. I really do, because that's how he kind of comes across. Like, he comes across that he's just playing his role, and everything is just like everything that Sasha says, yes, okay, yes. And even sometimes you can see his facial expression really isn't like, but he's still gonna say yes. Like, I just feel like he's playing his role. Like, even when he said happy wife, happy life, it wasn't as if he was saying that in the essence of, let me make sure my wife happy because that means a lot to me. It was more so, let me make sure she happy so I can secure my spot in her life, so I can make sure that I'm covered, that I'm content in my place, in my space in her life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it comes across. Anyway, Kristen and Mitch, they're out trying mimosas for their housewarming, right? So their theme they decide to settle on is like what is it? Futuristic, I don't know. I forgot it. What was it? A retro futuristic, or I think that's what it was. Retro futuristic. And so while they're doing that, Kristen brings up that she was engaged, and Mitch was like, So she's filling him in on all the fine details. And so she gets to the point where she tells him how she decides to go on with the destination wedding. She says, so my mom and I sent emails out to all the guests saying we would still like to go to the wedding, but there will be no groom. And Mitch says, that's weird. And she says with a straight face, why is that so weird? Y'all, the way I hollered, like that whole transaction between the two of them was just hilarious. Like, oh goodness, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like the whole time that Kristen was telling her story, Mitch was just like, yeah, oh, no. He was giving that kind of feedback, like, trying to just be engaging and supportive through that without really saying much. So I don't think he was trying to really be nasty when he was like, that's weird. Yeah, but it is kind of but it is kind of weird. But anyway, the fact that she was just like, why is that weird? I don't think that's weird. It's great. Oh, goodness. Y'all. So anyway, uh, but I will say now, I do like how he responded to her. He kind of took her hand. He was like, may I respond? And he just said, thanks for sharing that. I know it wasn't easy. It wasn't your fault. It doesn't change how I feel about you or how I look at you. I really like that. I said, okay, Mitch. I said, you better come through, Mitch. I liked how he handled that situation. I really did. And y'all sick of like that. They gonna start playing the sappiest, saddest music in the background. Like, oh, they be killing me trying to set these moves sometime, baby. Anyway, we are day 14, and over at Alexis and Justice, we see them in a heated argument. We see it like caught on the cameras that are in the apartment, right? So apparently, Newton has not been eating for the past 2 days, and he's throwing up blood now, right? And Justin knew this, I guess, since he's the daddy dog, the dog daddy, I mean. However, Alexis did not know. Alexis was not aware. And what did Justin do? Or, well, should I say, what didn't Justin do? He did not tell Alexis what was going on with her baby. I'm just like, now Justin, you know you done already F the just F'd up when it came to New. And she done already told you to overshare and not to be vague. And you know that little dog is still on medicine. And you know that's her baby. Now, why the hell would you not tell her what was going on with the darn dog? I don't know. I just don't know, Justin. You make me wonder. You make me wonder. You got me questioning some things. Didn't I tell y'all that just as quickly as they call themselves falling in love, they were gonna be just as quick to get into that argument and have a falling out. I told y'all that. And sure enough, what we getting? Big explosive argument. So Alexis ended up leaving out. She's just like, I can't do this. And she goes to sit in her car. So she's out on the car and a cam talking to us. And she's just saying that she's feeling manipulated. She's feeling very manipulated. And let me just insert that Alexis' brows look like they have been laminated. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Have y'all heard of brow lamination? Like, I've had mine done. You can't really tell now because it's been about 2 months. And I really need to get them done again. But anyway, essentially, if you are not familiar with brow lamination, I'm all the way off topic right now. But y'all know, we gonna talk like we good girlfriends, okay? So, essentially what brow lamination is like perming your eyebrows, really. So it makes some, like I do have curly eyebrows. I don't know, y'all can kind of really see that. I have long curly eyebrows, and so it'll straighten them out and it'll make them look fuller and give you a much cleaner look to them or whatever. But anyway, so it's time for me to do mine again. Let me know if y'all want a video of it, and I upload it. I'll record myself doing it, so y'all can see what that looks like. But anyways, let me get back on subject, y'all. We all the way out. So let me see, where are we at? Anyway, okay, so everybody they're getting ready for the housewarming, right? And Justin and Lex, they meet up at a candy store and they end up popping a squat and start talking, right? So he said that he doesn't know what to think when she says, I'm done, which I know that could be confusing. But in the previous fight where we heard the fight that we saw on the apartment cameras, we saw her telling him what that means when she says, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, she already said what she meant by that. But anyway, so he's saying, I don't know what to think when you say, I'm done. And so for her thing is, you're not listening to me because I already told you. When I say I'm done, I mean I'm done with the conversation. Like, I can't handle it right now and I need to step away. And so Justin claimed he's not upset, but clearly he is, or at least something's going on with him, because the whole time he's like all defensive. He's sitting up there with his arms crossed, and so that's like closing yourself off right there immediately off top. When you come to somebody and you're sitting like that, you're closed off, you're not open, and that's just a very defensive posture. So he goes on to say that he didn't tell her about Newton because he thought he knew what he was doing. Well, Justin, clearly you didn't. If the dog was throwing up and not eating, there is a big difference between thinking and knowing. You didn't know what you was doing, and clearly whatever you thought you knew was not good enough. Whew. Justin, he's exasperating, y'all. Like, he really is. Like, my patience is worn thin just watching him. Like, I couldn't deal with him in real life. Like, on a friend level, probably, yeah, he probably cool person to be friends with. But to be in an intimate relationship with, a romantic relationship with, I don't think I can handle him. I just couldn't. I would be exhausted every day. So anyway, he puts his foot in his mouth and says he didn't over communicate. He didn't over communicate because he was handling it. And Alexis is like, that's my point. I asked you to over communicate. You said you would, and you turned around and did not. So then just to go try to flip the script, y'all, the whole entire script by saying, well, I'll just be quiet from now on because I feel like you getting off on having moments like this where we sit here and argue. Baby, Justin out his everlasting mind. Like, talking about she getting some kind of arousal from it. Liz got up and walked off. And I don't blame her. I would have too. Like, really, Justin? Really? Like, you giving me pause for the cause, for real. Can I just insert right here that you should always be weary of people who say they don't really know what happened in their last relationship that caused a breakdown or for the relationship to end. Like, I would much rather somebody just try to put it all on their ex, because at least then I know what kind of fool I'm finna deal with. Like, one that don't like to accept accountability. Because let's just be honest, most breakdowns are because of two people. So if you try to put it all on one person, you just ain't the type of person ready to take some kind of accountability. But you be somebody that claims to not know or have this innocent, like, come on. Yeah. Y'all be weird. And Justin's giving me that vibe, that whole not really knowing why his ex-fiance left him. Oh, she just wanted sugar daddy. Okay. And the mama don't really know what's going on. Oh, okay. Yeah, something ain't right with that whole situation. Y'all just be weary. Be weary about that. So I'm just kind of thinking about Justin, his personality right now. So anyway, back at it. Alexis lets him know that she's feeling disrespected, as she should. And so she asks to be on mic right then and there. She's like, it's time for me to leave right now. It's day 15, party day. And Stasha and Nate, they're having a 70s theme party. And Megan ain't there. So he's talking to Stasha's peeps, right? And they're discussing kids. And now his excuse is, well, I've never seen her around kids, for one. And two, she's a workaholic. Now, Nate, make up your doggone mind. Make up your everlasting mind. Which is it? Did you want to make this amount of money before you have kids? So, or is it Stasha and the fact that you've never seen her with kids, or that you don't know if she's going to be around because she's a workaholic? Like, which is it? I need you to make it make sense. Make up your darn mind. Make up your darn mind, And so Stasha is talking to his friends, and they're pretty much talking about the same thing, like about kids. And so his friends continue tell her to continue to just provide him with reassurance that she's in it, that she's not going to leave, because he definitely has some abandonment issues. And I can see that he does, and how that can impact him having or wanting to have children, right? Or just to even how that can just be scary to think about moving forward with having children, right? And I wish that he would just open up and say that versus giving all these different excuses. Because first it was, I need to make X amount of money, and now it's because, well, I've never seen Stasha with kids, and she's a workaholic. Well, somebody gotta be, because you ain't know that nothing but a damn hustler. He's a hustler, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all sleepy. I'm sleepy. Okay. Oh, anyway, Miguel and Lindy's party thing is game show contestants think, let's make a deal. where everybody just kind of come dressed like crazy or whatever. Because when they get started around, I'm like, why these folks? You got somebody dressed like grapes. Lindy sitting over here like a darn pizza. Miguel the darn pimp. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is their thing? So it was game show contestants, okay? So they played a newlywed game, and they seem like they're having fun or whatever. And so they eventually start talking to each other friends, right? And one of Miguel's friends asked Lindy if she really think that Miguel's funny because I noticed you laugh at him so much. Lady, get a life. Get a life. I need you to be bringing some tea and not worried if her giggling like a little schoolgirl is genuine. Like, come on now. So we end up learning that he wants her to take his last name, right? She doesn't want to. She doesn't have health insurance, and he has a spousal plan. Now, out of Lindy's mouth, we hear her say that, wait, and I'm just saying, this is out of hers because we hadn't heard it from Miguel, right? So we hear her saying that he doesn't want to put her on the insurance, on his health insurance, even though he has spousal plan, unless she takes his last name. And that's just dirty. That's dirty and manipulative. That is. Like, I see like a lot of these words being thrown around, and then in the next couple situation, I feel like it'd be a true example of these words that are being thrown around. And I feel that's very manipulative. So his friend tried to make some excuses about him not knowing if this marriage is going to work. And Lindy's thing is he's already paying for it. The only thing it costs him for her to get added is a phone call. Pretty much. Morgan being, they're having like a fiesta, like a Mexican fiesta. So Bean's friend asks, well, how was the honeymoon? And they're all in a group still right now. And so, Bean get quiet, and then he kind of try to tap dance around or whatever. And, without saying exactly what happened, because he's tired of the bullshit too, basically. He don't want to keep talking about that mess. And so here go Morgan. She, meanwhile, over there whispering to her friend, I like how he's actually not saying what happened. Girl, Morgan. Oh, I'm just like, So, she then keeps, Morgan then kept trying to force Ben to say what happened. I didn't like that. I ain't like that more. I ain't like how you was doing Ben right there. Like, because you were doing that as if he was just all in the wrong by himself. Like, and that just was not the case. So then her friend takes Ben aside to make him feel comfortable to discuss what happened. And so, of course, she's left talking to his friends, giving her version. And I just didn't like how she was crucifying him. I really did not. She kept going on and on about this deep hurt. And it's like, girl, bye. Like, girl, bye. It's just, bye. Deuces. It's just like his friend said, like, you need to forget and move the hell on, girl. Oh, child. Alexis and Justin housewarming. We're there. So, now, this is one thing I know. It's like, how they get the dough to the outside, directly to the outside? Because when they peoples were coming in, they was coming in directly from the outside. Oh, excuse me, y'all. And I was just like, how they managed to do that? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that was the first thing I know, because I was sleep wondering, are they at Alexis's home, because her real home, because I knew they weren't at Justin, because his living room, bed, and bathroom all in one room. But now they're at the shared apartment. But anyway, Lex said that she's trying to move forward and not run away. So she's committed to making his housewarming work, to giving a marriage a fair shot. And theirs was like a 90s thing. So Alexis, lets the guests know that they have had a fight. They have had a fight, and that they're having some communication problems. Right? She did have to. Oh y'all, she ended up putting the man on blast. Y'all, she was just going in, like being very specific about the things that Justin was doing. Like, and to me, that was a bit much. Like, you can't discuss everything with everybody, like all your marital issues with everybody. And then like even she prefaced it with saying like, I know I haven't talked to you, Justin, about sharing this, but blah blah blah. And now she was doing too much right there. She ain't have to put the man on blast like she did. And so Justin's counter to that was that he feels like when he's being drilled by her, that his thoughts can come out sounding contradictory, right? Like, because he just has not had a chance to process one question before another question is being asked of him. And I call BS, and the way Lex's facial expression was looking, she called BS on there too. So now they're talking to each other's guests, right? So she's talking to his friends and he's talking to her friends, right? And Justin's guy friend tells Lex that him not responding until a situation happens versus telling her things beforehand is just a God thing. It's just a God thing, and it's going to take patience for him to work on it. His other friend asks Lex, well, do you love him? And she says yes, but that she's not in love with him, and that she started to reconsider. Same thing she had told her sister a couple of days before, right? Linda and Miguel, they're having some pillow talk, right? They got their pillow talk time going, and they're discussing the whole insurance and last name thing, right? So she's saying how she needs all these milestones being met, like a joint bank account, where they're going to live after the 8 weeks, etc., 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 to feel secure and safe and comfortable enough to take on his last name. Now, you want to talk about contradictory, like this is one of them other words that was thrown around, and I feel like this is a real deal contradictory moment. Now, she is one to contradict herself, and she does it very often. Like, trust, I get that you worked hard and you earned these accomplishments as an Ellaway, I think that's her last name, and to give that essence up for somebody that you just met is huge. Like, I get it. Like, if I were to get married right here today, I don't feel like I would take my spouse's last name either. And it's just because I've been on this earth over 40 years as who I am right now. And I'm established, I'm accomplished in that name, and I'm okay with that. And would that change my legal status to my spouse? No, but would I probably change my last name? Absolutely not. Not at this point in my life. So I get it. I get it. But don't get upset with him for not being all the way in or knowing what he's going to do after 8 weeks. When you yourself, you're at the same place. Because if you were all the way in, then taking his last name would not be such a huge issue for you. Because it's not like you're saying, like how in my case, I'm saying I wouldn't do a period point blank. You're saying, well, if I have blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, then I would. Like, if you all in, be all in. If you're not, then don't get on him. Don't get on his head about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, child. So now they're talking, and I really don't feel, I'm just being honest, like this is just how it came across on my TV screen for me. I did not feel like Miguel was being a jerk at this point, you know what I'm saying? Because he has been in the past now. We can just be all honest, all of us can be honest about that. He can be a jerk. But in this moment, when they're discussing, having this very important discussion, I did not feel like he was. Like, he was holding her hand and there were no raised voices. And he was just telling him his thoughts. He articulated the way he felt, just like she had done the same, right? And then all of a sudden, Lindy just went off. Baby, she was dropping F-bombs. And I'm laughing because she didn't even sound right with that little sing-song pretty voice of hers. But she started that song. Do you hear me? Oh. I'm not taking your last name, and I don't need your insurance. If I get hit by a car and you don't want to take care of me and lend a fucking hand for me to see a physician, then so be it. But I am not taking your last name. How do you expect me to? I said, oh my God, oh my goodness. Whole time, McGill looking like, what the hell just happened? Like, who are you right now? Oh, he finally ended up saying, you know, I don't like this person. I don't like this person, this version of you that I'm seeing, right? So last party up, it is Kristen and Mitch, and oh, child. Mitch can be exhausted too. Mitch is slick funny though. I love him when he be throwing some shade. So he wouldn't even let Kristen make the little jello shots in the little throwaway plastic containers. He done made this girl go out and get them darn stainless steel cups. You know, like you see at the restaurant where they put like the condiments in, like the ketchup or, you know, I was just like, oh, child. Anyway, they seem to be having fun. And so Kristen, we didn't see them actually flip-flop. We saw her talking to her friends and him talking to his friends. So Kristen tells her friends that she's kind of stuck in a place of being grateful and walking on eggshells as far as it relates to him being this extreme environmentalist. And I can see how she could kind of feel that way, because she was like, you know, I know what he's doing is good for the environment, but at the same time, I'm not there. And so she feels like she's walking on eggshells by not wanting to upset him by doing something that's not environmental friendly. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, and on the flip side, Mitch is just talking about Poe Luna and her breathing issues and how it keeps him up at night. That's what he's talking about with his friends. It's day 17, and the fellows, they all get together, and the ladies all get together, right? And so, of course, we getting this back and forth. Lex said that Justin will ask her for a kiss even while she's pooping on the toilet. That's just nasty. Yeah, see, you know what, Justin, I think, well, Pastor Cal asked Alexis last week, do you think something is wrong with him at his core? Oh. And Alexis says, I'm not sure. Alexis says, I think I'm with you, baby. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Who sits there and kiss somebody while they stinking up the goddamn bathroom? That's just, something ain't right. That can be, he comes across as very smothering. Very, very smothering. Anyway, Ben is telling the guys that he thinks he's allergic to cats because as soon as he comes in the house, because you know Morgan has a cat, he starts sneezing and coughing, right? Lex goes on to tell the girls about the dog issue, like with Maya biting Newton and how Maya got sent away and blah blah blah. So and how Justin, you know, doesn't share what he should be sharing. And so Lindy then tells the girls about the whole insurance and last name debacle that her and Miguel had, right? She said they had their first fight, and that's what it was. What it was about. Um, Miguel also is talking about there with the guys. He says that he didn't like how Lindy had snapped on him, and he asked the fellows. No, yeah, he was just basically saying he didn't like that, how that happened, or seeing that side of her or whatever. And so then, was it Miguel? Yes, he did go on to ask the fellas who else has had sex, who else has consummated their marriages, right? Justin immediately, well, he took a minute. He was like, but then he goes on to say that, he hasn't, but that he's tried, and the Lex is just not having it. I wouldn't either. Like, I would not be in the space wanting to be all lovey-dovey with you if we ain't connecting here. Like, it ain't nothing else gonna get going for me. Like, it starts mentally for me. And if that ain't connecting, then ain't nothing else finna get going. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. And I think that's probably how a lot of women are, period, point blank. So anyway, meanwhile, Lex is on the other side telling the girls that just to be having a wet dreams. Justin. Let me keep it moving. Okay. Back to the other side, the guys, they are straight clowning Justin, baby. They are going in like Mitch and Ben. I gotta put theirs together. They said he gonna be a 2-minute supernova. Mitch was like, supernova? And Ben was like, 2 minutes. When he finally had sex with Alexis, that's what it's gonna be like. Oh my goodness, they were going in. Nate said that they haven't consummated it yet, but that let's just say we had dessert after dinner, you dig. And I was just like, what? In other words, he done had him a little gobble gobble. He been eat him up, yum yum. You know what I mean? So Mitch is so funny, y'all. I told y'all I love when he throws shade. So he's just like talking about what to what Nate said. He said that does not sound like a dessert. It sounds more like an appetizer to me. And and then he said Nate is still struggling. Bitch, you just happy that you don't finally got you son after 2 years. Oh, that bitch, he's coming around for me. He really is. But anyway, Morgan is talking about the walls that she's built up and how she's struggling to figure out how to let them down. Blah, 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 blah. He sounds like, wow, 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 wow. Like, at this point, get over it, girl. And I know that kind of sounds so, what's the word I want to use? Like, I don't care. And I get it. It's not just so easy to take down walls, especially when you've had them up for so long. But honey, at some point, you gotta do the work. Let's call a thing a thing. Thank you, Ayala. Later on, we see Miguel and Lindy talking, and they finally meet or reach some kind of resolution to the whole insurance and last name debacle, as well as just kind of discussing how Lindy snapped. And I just like seeing them being able to talk that out and be in a better place. And so at the end of the day, Miguel was just like, he's not going to pressure her, and that he will go ahead and put her on his insurance. And y'all, that was the end of the episode. You know what I'm saying? It was okay, the parts with Justin and Alexis kind of carried this episode for me, and not that I like to see them in turmoil, but that was kind of the more exciting part for this episode. Anyway, but through the previews, it looks like we got a couple of more exciting ones coming up. So I'm really looking forward to that. And anyway, y'all make sure to get down in these comments, y'all. Let's talk about it. I want to have the conversation. As Larry Reed Live would say. Let's talk about it, y'all. Anyways, until next time, as always, I pray for you. You please pray for me. And we will what? That's right. Bye, y'all.